XRP, we start with 1 hour chart. Okay, first of all, we refer to our analysis. Just I want to give some information how we can trade. All right. After that, we move to analysis. First of all, if we refer to our analysis, when the price was within this move, we mentioned we're looking for buy, and later we had this trend line. We mentioned the breakout of the trend line. If we get a correction, we can look for buy. This is what we got, and this is what the next move which we're looking for. Okay, and by the way, based on 1 hour chart, as long as the price was within this one, we didn't have get any good trade setup unless we trade based on lower time frame. Sometimes we get the correction, but we don't get a good trade setup. Now the thing is how we can buy, because based on what we have right now, based on 1 hour chart, the only way we could look for buy was here. Okay, unless we trade based on lower time frame. If we move to lower time frame, also based on lower time frame, there was no good trade setup. Maybe we could trade this one. All right. By the way, we were expecting to get the correction for the continuation we get, but whether we get the trade setup or not, it depends on the strategy the traders they use. Okay. Anyway, when the price was exactly here, we mentioned if we get a flag, we can look for buy. This is what we mentioned. And we had a trade setup with this flag. If we move to 15 minutes, we can see it exactly here. This one was better trade setup in compared to this or here, because this two is not really clear for trading, okay, because the way is moving. All right. And another things we were talking, because we have a different option, and one of the option was, which every time I mention is risky, to have entry above the top, which was in having entry above this one, which is on this line 0.459. And I mentioned if the price tag what we want a continuation. If it tags within 1 or 2 hours is not moving, we take out the trade, because based on higher time frame, we mentioned that May price can reverse. And as we can see here, the price tag breakout. The first hour didn't move. The second hour we had the opportunity, and the third hour. And even if anyone within these 3 hours they didn't take out the trade, after they get the reversal, they get the after the price drop, they get a this pullback, they had a chance to take out the trade. One thing I need to mention is that when sometimes when we have the move similar to what I draw here, if you want to look for sell, mostly we mention we need to get the sharp move down, pullback, or small flag or correction for next drop. Traders, they should know that when they want to trade with entry above the top, which again is very risky, it depends on the traders how they have experience. Okay, mostly what we expect, again, we want the price to tag or continue. If within 1 or 2 hours is not moving, we don't stay with the trade. And even if the price tag because of any reason they couldn't take out the trade, if the price sharply drop, they can expect the pullback. This is where they should minimize their loss. They can take out the trade whether in break even, or they minimize what they lose. All right, similar to what we have here. Drop, pullback, where they should take out the trade. When they see this kind of the pullback, they shouldn't stay with the trade. They should, they, like some of the traders, they think me this is the one is going to break the top. Is not. They shouldn't I mean risk for that, because when we have that price at the previous top breakout, we see the sharp reversal and the sharp drop. Any pullback where you can look for, where is the, you should take out the trade. You shouldn't stay with the trade. Okay, this is something sometimes when we have this kind of the entry above the top, we need to know. First of all, the first 1 or 2 hours. If you couldn't, if any drop, wait for the pullback. Mostly we get the pullback, not all the times, but mostly we get. And sometimes the pullback can help us to take out the trade with break even. Sometimes may only cannot move to where we take the trade, just minimize our loss. Okay, by the way, we have enough opportunity 3 hours here, even the second opportunity to take out the trade. No one should be in this trade. And again, this type of the trade is for those traders, they know how to manage it. If not, the other trade and the traders shouldn't take it. Okay, now we want to see how we can trade it. First of all, we get this correction, and now we have this. Now the question is whether after this, because as we can see, the price broke this top, and if we refer to MACD, we have a divergence as well here. Okay, one of the reasons I need to also mention here that when you see the breakout of the top here, you get the trade. All right, and when you see this one, the divergence, and if you compare this one to each other, And even you see the divergence, this is another sign that the traders shouldn't stay with the trade. Because when the price is below this top, when the price haven't broke this one or here, we cannot see whether we have a divergence. But after the breakout, if you see the divergence and the price is not going, we shouldn't stay with the trade. This is what we get. Okay. Now we want to see how we can look for this. Whether we can put this one in relative to this or one more up. That's mean can we look for buy or not? And if you want to look for buy, how high it can go. In this case, we move to higher time frame. First of all, we start with weekly chart. Okay, based on weekly chart, we can see we had this up move, the price drop. Now we want to see whether this one is a correction for continuation or not, or this is the one is going to retest this low. Okay, maybe we move to lower time frame. Daily can give us better view. All right. Again, this is what we get. Now the question is, as I mentioned, we can expect the price continue or we get one more drop. Why? Because what we have here as well. Similar to each other. Can this one turn to us and relative to each other for one more drop to break this low, which is 37? Maybe consider it as a 34 continuation for this here. We need to be aware of this. May I change this one to solid one? We need to be aware of this one. If anyone wants to look for buy, still we can expect the price. Similar to when the price was here, I mentioned the price is going to drop. This is what we get. Okay. And now if we move to forward chart, all right. Based on forward chart, first of all, we have been looking for this. When the price was here exactly within this move from here, we mentioned the price is moving, the way is moving is up move, but we can expect the price to drop because I was pointing on this. And most of the traders, they were not happy from what I say, but this is what we get. Okay, now the thing is, can we look for this one as a flat, bigger flat? Okay, if yes, but the thing is what type of the flat? Because whether we get the price reverse from here, we get different type, and even the price break this low, which is we mentioned based on high time frames 34, it get different type of the analysis. Okay, this is what I want to mention here, that any buy from here, if we see the price is not moving, we take out the trade, because what we getting here, we have here as well. Made this one tentative internal correction for one more drop, at least to break 34 for reversal. Okay, that's mean if we want to look for buy, we should know how to manage it. Now we're looking at this part. You want to see if we get the buy, how high it can go. In this case, we move to lower time frame. Okay, if you want to trade based on 1 hour chart, first of all, we talk about the buy. Okay, and even if first of all I move to forward chart, one thing we mentioned here, even if we want to put this one in relative to this for one more drop, still we can expect this one continue at least to break this top here, which is almost 50 cent before we get the down move, if we're going to get. All depends how this one can move, whether corrective or sharply break this one, which is 50 again, the top. I'm talking about the top. Okay, now if you want to trade right now, if you want to look for buy, the first things I consider, we have the breakout of this trend line, we had the correction, and now we are within the another color correction. Now we can put this one as a correction in relative to each other. That means any buy from here, we can take it. Okay, as long as we get the buy set up, sharp move of like, even this one is still, we can expect that the price to drop some more before we get the buy. But if we get any buy from here, the first target will be breakout of the top, which is 47, 0.47. If there is a continuation, the second one I will look is 0.495. And if the price break this one, because when the price come to this top, again, the top is almost 50 cents. From there, we need to see whether there is a continuation or not. Okay. And because we want to see whether we get this one for one more drop, or the price can break out of the 50 and continue, because I explained this on forward chart. Then when the price come to the top, which is 50, then from there we see how it's moving. we check everything, then from there we can make a decision whether there is a continuation or not. But if there is a continuation, the next target after the breakout of the 50, which I'm looking is 0.535. Okay, by the way, now this is how we can look for buy, and this is what we can expect, and this is what we're looking for. But if this one give a small correction, we see the any correction, still we can expect the price to drop. Whether traders they can sell or not, because we get that this is a sell setup we get if we get similar to what we have here. Still, because I mentioned, still this one can drop a bit more. If we get any corrective move or based on lower time frame as a flag, then still we can expect the price to drop even to retest this low, which is 42. Then if anyone wants to look for sell, they should consider that this sell will be a short-term sell. But if the price drop, any reversal can give us a better trade setup for buying. Okay, by the way, we're looking for this. We want to see how we can trade it. And if I zoom in, we see we have not, I mean, we don't have any confirmation for trade setup. And if we move to 15 minutes, right now we need to look at this. Whether this one will turn to a correction for one more drop or can give a short continuation for buy. Okay, anyway, if the price drop a bit more, can give us better opportunity to look for, to get the trade for buy, but right now we don't have it. Okay, in this case we just follow the chart, and if I see any update trade setup can confirm with the next trade, I will share. But this is whatever I mentioned is just at least traders they know about the chart based on the bigger picture, different view, and the different possibility. That's why when they dig the trade, they should know where they should manage and what's the next. Okay, anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.